2022 Industrie New South Wales SuperSports Motor Racing Championship is proudly brought to you by these loyal partners. The 2022 Industrie New South Wales SuperSports Motor Racing Championship is proudly brought to you by these loyal partners.
Round 3 is about to get underway, and there they go, and some people pulling out of positions to try and get an advantage, but it is Godfrey who leads the way, Lauke in second, then it's John Paul Drake, Halsdown first up, Neil Muston trying to go around the outside, but Darren Barlow moves up on the inside in the store into position 4. White next one after Muston as they go through turn 2. And keep an eye for Nick Kelly, who's been missing from a couple of the rounds. First time out this year in what has been a new car. I think it only had 1 or 2 race meetings late last year. They supported supercars here towards the end of last year. And one that is missing is Alex Kenny in the Juno. Unfortunately, had a starter motor failure yesterday, and it's such a unique part of the machine that they have. It's from overseas, and they couldn't get another one or fit a different type of one to make it work for this weekend. And so, unfortunately, only a lap or so of practice and all done for the weekend. Very quick car, but unfortunately, just has those little niggling problems. So it's Godfrey in front. He's almost a second in ahead of Lauke in second, Drake in third, Barlow fourth, Dennis Muston, Kelly, Lee. White has dropped the spot because Lee's got ahead of him in the west. Mark Brame leads the Radicals ahead of Nielsen, and then we've got Roberts in the SR8, the next one through after that. So here they come down the straight, and that's Barlow looking to go down the inside, not close enough on that lap to get under Drake. But it's a bit of a wideish line, but it comes through there. It's the smallest engine car in the field, only a litre, but it's also probably the lightest and very good in a straight line. There's Lauke on the back of Godfrey as they go around through turn 5, head up the hill. Jam Motorsport runs this car, and they're here. That's about their 3rd visits in recent times from South Australia over to New South Wales to run in supersports or prototypes, as the case may be, because they were here not long ago running in prototypes. Don't have the BOP or balanced performance in supersports that they do in prototypes, so a little bit of a free rein, I guess, to have a bit of a flat out racing from their point of view. Well, not that they're not flat out, but without some of the restrictions that prototypes have with them. You can see a big field of Radicals down through the field. There's Stephen Shields coming through ahead as champion there. So Shields has picked up some spots from the start. Actually ahead of Royal, not champion. So coming out to complete lap 2, and it's Godfrey in front, Lauke in second. The gap's just gone out slightly, just over a second. Drake in third, then Barlow. Muston, Kelly, White, Lee, Brame, Roberts, Nielsen, champion. That was Nielsen and champion we're looking at before. So champion's picked up a couple of spots after the start. Claire, Canavan, Palmer in the second of the stores is in position 15, copying behind him in another west. Samadhi, Shields, Brook have been a change towards the front there, and Barlow dropping down the field, so he's perhaps got a drama or a problem with the transponder. We'll just have to check where he is on track, but he may have had some issues, and according to timing he's dropped right to the back. It could be just a timing issue. When we get back to the leaders we'll have a better idea. And Godfrey is increasing his lead at the moment. Barlow actually won the opening round by a point over Peter White, and Peter White won the second round. That's Peter White we're looking at there, and there's Barlow. So big dramas for that car. Unfortunately, there's a stall parked on the side of the road, and maybe an electrical fire of some sort. He's had to hit it with the extinguisher. So this may bring out a safety car. I don't think it's out of turn 2 by the look of it, up towards turn 3. Yeah, I would say that may be warrant a safety car. So far the race continues, and the lead has dropped down. I think Godfrey has probably seen it and buttoned off a bit, and it's allowed Lauke to close to just over half a second behind. Drake in third, Dennis Mustard and White in the 2 SR8s, and Kelly in the SR10. Lee, who's in the west, is in position 7. Brame, Roberts, Nielsen, Champion. The order remains much the same amongst the SR3s in that class. Class 1, class 2, beg your pardon. 1. It is class 1. They've got Godfrey down as class 1, and he's actually in class 2, I think, being in a Wolf. So the race goes on. They've not gone for a safety car, so they've obviously felt that car being on that side of the track was probably in a fairly safe position, and so the race continues, and just caught the back end of cars going over the top of the hill towards turn 7, and that's Peacock in his Radical back in position 21. There's Lauke right on the back of Godfrey, first and second on the road at the moment, and well clear of Drake in third. Lauke's just celebrated his 72nd birthday and still firing on all cylinders by the looks of things, going really well. Lauke, name in Lauke Flour Mills in South Australia, well known in that area of the world. Hasn't been racing in, I think he did the second round here, mostly he did, but they had an oil leak and some dramas. Didn't race the first round, certainly raced the second round, and then was back for the prototypes here at Australian Racing Group Championship round. Unfortunately had a spin there, and it ended up on top of a ribble strip, and he couldn't move, or just off the track, and basically had no drive to get off, which is unfortunate. But now he's stalking Ryan Godfrey, our race leader. It's only half a second adrift at this stage. There's the other store in the field picking up spots. That's Palmer, and he's just passed Champion, so that's moved him up into 11th position. It actually looks like Champion's car's got a bit of a split skirt or something on the right hand side hanging down, and here's Palmer attempting to make a move on Nielsen. Not quite close enough on that occasion. So he brings it around, basically a sister car to the Darren Barlow car. 1 litre Kawasaki, I believe, powered. Chain driven, of course, as most of these motorcycle engine type cars are. Hayabusa 1.5 litre engines in the SR3s, 2.7 litre or 3 litre in the SR8s. It's basically 2 cars, 2 engines put together into a V8 formation. And the SR10, as we said, a turbocharged EcoBoost engine, which is slightly different. Wolf's run Honda power or turbo Peugeot power. I believe that there's even one coming or tested already in Australia with a Coyote V8 engine in it, so that might be a bit of a weapon when it finally makes a track. Palmer really close to Nielsen at the moment. Probably just loses out a bit in a straight line, but certainly very close around the rest of the track. Godfrey's got his lead back out to about a second, incidentally, and Drake is a further 9 seconds away, almost 10 seconds away. And now we see Palmer trying to, you couldn't see him there for a minute, he was right in behind the back of the Radical and doesn't have the straight line to go with the SR3. But quick around the rest of the track as he tries to find a way past. Gets a bit squirrely coming out of turn 2. That might have cost him a bit. There's another dice going on towards the back of the field. This is Royal, Peacock and Hughes fighting it out. Sue Hughes has been in the category for quite a while. Loves the motorsport. Formerly raced a BMW in production cars. And looks like having a ball out there at the moment as well with this battle for 19th, 20th and 21st. A good field for the Industrie round 3 of SuperSports here at Sydney Motorsport Park this weekend. And I would suspect that we're quite possibly just starting the second last lap. They've just completed 7. And Godfrey's moved that lead out further now. It's out to 1.2 seconds. With Drake further away, but clear of Muston by about 6 seconds. With White next, just 4 seconds away. So White's been the pace setter. Anyone that's seen those supercar support races here last year with Peter White won all 3, but he battled hard with Kenny and also with Barlow to get those wins. 3 very different cars, all producing much the same sort of speed and lap times. And I think Darren Barlow was the one that just suffered a little bit in the straight line, but he certainly had pace around the rest of the track in those stores with their handling. And this dice at the back seems to have settled now with Peacock clear of Royal and Hughes. And as the time goes out, I think we're on to the last lap now with Godfrey ahead of Lauke by 1.6 seconds. And we've got this gap back to Drake in position 3. Wide variety of cars, as I mentioned before, with motorcycle engineered engines for particularly the Radicals, but not so much for the Wolves, which are a beautiful looking machine, and they certainly revived sports car racing, and SuperSports and prototypes have done that in a big way. We've got 20 plus cars here this weekend. More cars in the pipeline, I believe, from what I hear from around the traps. There's John Paul Drake just disappearing up into turn 6. And here's our race leader coming up on the back of the dice we were previously watching, and this is Ryan Godfrey. Had some dramas with this car in early rounds this year, but certainly now is starting to perform much more to his liking as he brings it out on the straight for the last time in race 1 of 3 this weekend. And he should take the checkered flag on this occasion, and he does. Mark Lauke in second position. Be happy with that, because he didn't have such a good run at the prototype round, but certainly a good race for him. 3.567 seconds in arrears at the end of the race. John Paul Drake home in third position, also out of South Australia, so enjoy their journey over to the east. He gets a line. Neil Muston will be in fourth position, followed by Peter White in fifth in the 2 SR8s, and then Nick Kelly in the SR10 will be the next one down to the line. Aaron Lee in the west, WR1000, and then I think you'll find that Roberts and Brame are having a good dice there. SR8, SR3 battling it out, and Roberts just holds on ahead of Mark Brame in 9th position, and he's won that class ahead of Brett Nelson, who was 4.6 seconds in arrears. And they're followed by champion in 3rd, Claire Canavan, copying Samadhi, Seals, Brooke, Peacock, Royal, Hughes, and Palmer's obviously had a drama, so it hasn't been a good day to be in a store by the look of it, because he's yet to meet the checkered flag, so he's had a drama on that last lap, unfortunately. And he'll be, well, if he's even going to get to the end. Looks like he didn't get past, didn't get through lap 8, so drama on lap 8 for Palmer.